Well, well, look at that. There was a time in American history where the citizens chased the coppers.
She rides like an angel. She's my Model A Mabel.
Welcome back to the Model A Mabel neighborhood. Wow, I didn't expect the response I have received on this channel, Model A Mabel. I want to thank everyone's kind words and support. I had expected to have about 15 to 20 subscribers. At the time of making this video, I'm at 125 subscribers. Now, that may be peanuts to the serious go-getters on YouTube, but for me, well, that's kind of humbling. There are several types of YouTube channels. In the Model A and T Ford category, there seems to be 3 types. One type is how-to videos, and these channels have built up a wonderful resource of helpful videos that always can be accessed when someone has a need for information. It's like a YouTube Model A Ford Mechanic's Handbook. Another is the "Hey, let's have fun in a Model A Ford" channel. You get to see people run around in their Model A's and T's and making everyone smile and happy. The third one is like mine. It's documenting an ongoing adventure of learning and overcoming problems. So I decided that on occasion, I'm going to do a brief wrapping up video. So let's start in an official wrap-up of the last 3 weeks. I have received a few comments I would like to share that may help others. You see, it turns out that other folks are having problems similar to mine, yet their issues remain. So here are a couple of received comments I think may be pertinent to the electrical blackouts and restart issues on hand. Here, RomJoan4801 wrote, "Hello. A common problem is using 12-volt cables on a 6-volt system. I would make sure that you have 6-volt cables. High current." Now there was something I didn't think about. I took a visual look with my old worn-out eyes at the negative cable and couldn't find anything written. My newbie assessment suggests it's a 0, and the positive cable, post-switch to the back frame, suggests a 0. But looking at the photo of the positive ground from the battery to the ground switch, well, it does look like a 2-gauge wire. Unfortunately, my nose ring still hurts, so I ain't going back into the battery nest unless I have to. Maybe my solving my electrical blackouts may have been due to something outside my vision. But sometimes the nature of life will never let you know what the real answer is. For those that may poo-poo this notion, let me tell you of a real experience. My truck wouldn't start back up at a convenience store in Florence, Arizona. A Florence police officer put his jumper cables that he had from his car to my truck. My truck would not start. I had better thinking abilities back then and realized that the cables may be too small to carry the needed current, like the gentleman here presented. I went into the convenience store, bought another set of cables, added them in parallel, and voila! My truck started. Model A Rick Las Cruces wrote, "Does your 2-door have original rear motor mounts or floatomotor mounts?" Floatomotor, I like that. He added, "Do you have a fuse on the starter?" Here is another piece of information that makes a newbie like me less ignorant one step at a time. Okay, I'm not disrespecting myself here. Nope, I am using the word ignorant correctly. We are all ignorant of many things in life, and that isn't always a negative thing. Well, I took a look and voila! I do have a floatomotor motor mount. Say that 3 times fast. Floatomotor motor mount. Floatomotor motor mount.
Floatomotor motor mount.
There appears to be rubber that separates the engine from the frame. So, again, there is another potential loss of electrical path to the engine when the switch was installed. And yes, I have a fuse on the starter. Matthew Mahalik 3562 wrote about an interesting issue he had with warm restart problems responding to a question I had posed to him. He wrote, "Yes, I am still 6 volts with a new battery. I ran a ground cable to the frame, to the engine bell housing, to frame, cleaned mating surfaces between starter and the bell housing. Nothing seemed to work. Then I had an idea. All right, we have a thinker here. That's terrific." Matt continued, "I looked at my starter foot switch and it seemed to only be making contact at one corner, evident by the burn mark on the starter pad. So I replaced it, and it appears to be working." Then Matt develops a hypothesis. "I think it has something to do with the engine being hot. Metal expands and could not make good contact until it cooled down. I will see if it continues in the spring. Give it a try. Let me know, please, and good luck." There you go. Matt will collect more data points. Good researcher. Now, I never would have considered that a problem like a starter pad not being flushed to the connector would be a problem. Very interesting. All right, now there are some eagle eyes out there too. Here is an example. BD Incorporated wrote, "Beautiful car and fun video. I do believe you're over-choking Mabel a bit. When starting cold, only hold out the choke for about a half a revolution. Right after you hear the engine turn over, then push it back in. Otherwise, you'll flood it. I had the same problem with mine for the first couple of months, until a guru showed me this method. Now, if it doesn't start in one revolution, I know I've forgotten to do something else. Of course, no choke necessary when starting warm." I took a relook, and by golly, I was over-choking it. I had known this choking technique watching the YouTube video gurus, but some students are faster learners than others. I gotta tell you, I'm a bit of a loner and live out on the edge of town. My only experience so far is with my step-up son, Josh, and his Model A, Susie.
Hi, my name is Josh. I'm Jim's step-up son. We're both, as you can see, we are both Model A enthusiasts. My channel is Model A for a Day. Jim's channel is Model A Mabel. Make sure you check us out. Like, comment, subscribe.
And we all know, well, let's say, she has a more modern hip replacement. As a retired reliability engineer, I confess I am envious and impressed in Susie's starting consistency. My point is that being a loner can have its downside. I received several comments about my video with my grandboys. Yes, I enjoy my grandboys, their energy and curiosity of the world around them. My position with young folks is that all you can do is display the ideas and curiosity you have to them. Let it bounce around in their minds, and hopefully they will resurface positively in early adulthood. I can say that when they walk over to see Nana and I, they do ask to ride back in Mabel. Now, I had a lot of wonderful responses about Mabel and the videos, but I feel like I would be just tooting my Aoga horn, and this video is getting too long already. So I saved the funny one last. In my video, Getting Gas, there were 2 coyotes in the background at one point, and I said to look for them. Brian Layduck 2244 wrote, "I didn't see the coyotes but noticed 2 cougars at the end." I rooster laughed at that one. Here's the scoop on that shot. I set up my camera, drove down the road, and upon return, there they were, standing in camera, looking and pointing at the mountains. My first response upon seeing them was, "Beans!" just when I was shooting. They were oblivious to me and the camera, so I gave them an auga, and their response is genuine. Upon going back and getting my camera,
Great vehicle.
Thank you. They gave thumbs up on Mabel.
If you're in the camera, you might end up being on YouTube. Let's see.
And I informed them that I was videoing for YouTube and that they will probably end up on it, which they affirmed acceptance. That's it. Time to skedaddle. So, there you go. Some more information that may help along with a bit of joviality. Did I say that right? My first interactions with Model A Ford folks have been wonderful. I have joined MAFCA, joining the Tucson Model A Club, met the folks at the last meeting. I'm a bit wacky, and I felt like I fit right in. Thank you for your support and words. I will be making more videos. Please understand that the output will be uneven. Well, unless I can get Harold Lloyd to do a lot of the footwork for me. I heard a report of a Harold Lloyd sighting last year, so I know he's still out there. Anyone have his cell phone number?